Certainly can, and the thing is as well is that we can come out of this one, Liquid could be the losers, and we'll go, okay, that was kind of shocking, but not too shocking. Like, it's not something that we'll dwell on for all that long, because, hey, that just sort of seems to be the way it goes as we start off with our skill. Okay,
Yeah,
that explains a fair amount. Yeah, okay.
That's going to be a pause. Yeah, we did not have motion.
Interesting time to pause it.
Yeah, we did not have motion on a couple of the players there. It looks like yeah, Smoke says some FPS issues. We're going to get that started as soon as possible. He's just having a quick restart, but Oski's going to be devastated. He really wanted that goal.
Can we get some like
scenic
shots of that goal explosion? That looks pretty good from where we're at.
The sound of it too, I felt like my world just paused or something, like I was in a simulation. That goal explosion sound.
Leaf, what's happening in the other games? Come on, Leaf.
Well, in the other games, probably not much at all right now. I honestly didn't have enough time to even.
Actually, 3-0.
Really?
3-0. 4-0.
Never believe it.
4-0. There's a lot that's happening. Actually, a lot is going on.
Yeah, no, that. I guess
I left some key information out there.
The game.
I left some key information out. I said a scoreline, but I didn't say who. I didn't want to take everything from you there. But
no, that's fine. I legitimately was going to open the streams up, and then it paused. I'm like, oh, I'm back. I wasn't prepared for this.
It's quadrant. It's 5-0. They're just
5 goals now.
Yogiri right now. This is insane.
Yeah.
I mean, every time I tell you the scoreline, it just increases again. So maybe
I got to find the stream at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing again, just watching the matchups that Algiri had throughout the day and how close some of them had been, watching some of the gameplay, I thought, okay, this is a team that qualifies. This is a team that we see on day 2. But if you're going to start off like this, that's not a good sign. Granted, we've seen a few teams have blowout first matches and then pull it a bit closer for the rest of them. So it's not over yet, but not the start you want.
Slight update over here as well, probably to no one's surprise, but we'll just confirm it for you. We will be restarting that one from 0-0, 5 minutes on the clock. So just a complete reset over there. So we'll get this game up and running pretty soon.
I thought you got your wish and we were just going to restart it on Champions Field.
I feel like it's
we might as well.
Sort of a necessity, but we need sort of the steps to get up there. You know, you always know in most stories that the good guy's going to win. You still read the entire way through. So we're going to read through this series anyway, and then go to Champions Field.
There are some psychos out there that read the last page of a book first. And I'm calling y'all out. That's weird.
Do you know any of them? Is there anyone on the talent team?
No, I don't think there's anyone on the talent team, or else they won't be on the talent team. I'm just calling you out. I've seen people do that, and they won't read the book until unless the last page sounds engaging. I don't know what that kind of logic, but I guess it's the same kind of logic of jumping the game.
I'm sorry, I know I'm supposed to talk right now, but I had to process just the idea of that one. Johnny, is it 6-0 yet?
I don't think so.
It's 5-2. It's 5-2 now.
I got kicked from the lobby, so I had to rejoin really quickly. I think we all got removed on that one a bit, unfortunately. But yes, it's actually 5-2. So you're mounting a late comeback. It's looking like it might in fact be an interesting ending over there. For Aogiri, who are currently spiraling out of the event. They've lost 2 straight series after a very promising start, all the way to Game 5 overtime against Moisten, winner the 2-0 round. To now be in the 2-2 round, it's pretty disastrous for them for it to be going like this. And there is a 6th goal. In fact, it's just the Lightning Wave mercilessly slamming another one in the back of the net.
I do want to discuss with both of you as well. We just saw Evil Geniuses eliminated from the tournament. Are we seeing this as maybe a little bit of a continuation of what we got last season from them? Because they always seemed like they were on the cusp of qualifying for everything, and they did get to go over to London. But is this going to be more? Are they further away now than they were previously? What are we expecting from them this season?
I think they're better. I think EG's made an improvement on their roster, but the issue is that there are a lot of very good teams now. I mean, Europe just even with the absence of Nolly, apparently Jack and CRR, there's significantly more players. Like 3 good players have left the region, but a whole lot more than that's managed to find a good team for themselves. So I think it's just a matter of the rest of the region seems to have improved even more than EG have, because I think they've made an upgrade there with Tox instead of Rizix.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is still a team that potentially sees middling. When I say middling, I mean you're 5 to 6 to
Yeah,
7.
they were 5th to 6th like all of last season. Unfortunately, more often on the 6th side. And
here's the thing. I still see all these other teams still getting stronger too. So it's like, I don't know if that's really going to change. Tox is a great addition, but I don't think it's going to change the overall landscape of where they sit in the region. I'd love to be surprised.
They've got to beat Liquid, Karmine Corp, Oxygen, BDS, or Moist. I mean, that's 5 teams right there that are obviously world class and are going to be contenders at any lands that they qualify to. So to get into a top 5, to qualify for majors, you got to beat one of those teams. And then you've got G1 as well. You've got teams like Monkeys who are on a good run of form. Tundra have already qualified. I mean, the list just goes on. You could list honestly every single team in this top 16 and a few more who didn't even qualify. Yeah. I mean, the talent across all the teams is really quite ridiculous this season, evidenced by round 1 being so close in almost every matchup. It's a tough day for everybody in round 1.
So my question then, I want to ask. I was going to ask Shogun here since he was grilling us.
I'm buying time here. We're trying to get into this lobby.
Well, I know that's why I'm asking you now, but I know you're trying to sign in, so I'm trying to.
I can multitask. Let's go.
Oh, you can multitask. Okay. Coming into this, I think I heard a few people, even some talent, say that all these roster moves just made BDS look even stronger, but obviously
who said that?
A bit of that shakeup.
Who said that? I want to know who said that.
Wow. Leaf refusing to throw anybody under the bus.
Throw them under the bus. Who said that everybody improving their rosters makes
Come on, mate. We got good public transport around here.
Because I could be wrong. I was in a group conversation, and I don't want to throw the wrong person.
But if you had to guess who it was, who would you throw the dart?
Oh my God, Gibbs.
I know what? You heard it here.
He's watching. Says that Gibbs doesn't know what he's talking about.
But my question for you was, do you feel like it is clearly not? Like, I guess that's the answer. Is stacked, and there's a distance there, or do you feel like it is going to be full chaos, or a couple teams at the top, or just BDS at the top? What's that?
I've got too used to the landscape of just BDS staring down at the chaos below them and just not being remotely worried about it. And now that I've gone through that for a good 2 years, I don't see it changing. I feel like somebody else has got to change the narrative and even do it consistently, because we're not going to come out of this tournament. Let's say tomorrow BDS are just done. They're out. Are we really going to be convinced that BDS still aren't the top team? I feel like
they are the top team for sure. There's no question BDS are the top team, but
we need 2 or 3 tournaments where BDS aren't that.
I think saying that the gap has widened is pure speculation at this point. We've seen one qualifier and one day. Pure speculation to say that the gap has widened. I think it's a crazy speculation as well. There are so many, at least in my opinion, Mark by 8's not on the bench anymore. How can you say he's not got a better team situation? I think loads of players got better team situations. Archie Jory is on Oxygen. That's a big step up in my opinion. So I don't think it's going to be easier for BDS this season. I think it's going to be harder. I do still back them to be the best team though. I think they're the best team in the region, but I think they've got a tougher task now than they did last season.
It looks like it. We're going game 5s across the board, so that sounds accurate.
All right, good job, Leaf. We managed to get through all of it. You figured out my strategy of gaslighting Johnny is the best way to kill time on a podcast. Let's get ourselves into this.
It works.
It works every time, 9 times out of 10. As we do get ourselves into this. G1 also 2-0 up against Sonics. Those matches have been continuing without us. Very rude. As we got to see, very dominant first match as well between Quadrant and Aogiri. Looking to see which teams are going to join us and also which teams can maybe do it in a bit more of a dominant style. If you get that better game differential, you might be able to avoid BDS and Moist. That's pretty big in my book.
Yeah, and on top of that, we've got to give a shout out to Smokes here. I think this is a chance for him to get further in an RLCS tournament than any other Northern Irish player before him. And, I'd love to be corrected if I'm wrong on that, but at least off the top of my head, I think when it comes to Northern Ireland, he is blazing the trail with Arjun Mithane, the remaining 2/3 from the old Monkeys roster when they played with Cash, who has left them. And kind of similarly to Creeping Kid Up, they're very, very talked about third. I think deservedly talked about third in cash. Just took all of the fans with him when he left, and now it's only after seeing the new Monkeys roster succeeding that people remember, hold on a second here, we've got some successful RLCS players on this team we might need to still pay attention to. Arju actually with a good shot early on, a good chance early on the shot. Not quite up to the task. But this would be a big win for them. A massive win for them if they can get into the top 8 with a win over Liquid. I mean, it doesn't get much better than that.
No, for Liquid, this is full pressure for them. The last season, last split even, of what they got to play with this roster was just to test the waters, so to speak, make sure that the roster was going to work. I mean, there was never really any doubt, and they really didn't have anything to lose. And that was the big thing that they always had on their side last split, was they either make it to London or not really anything else is on the line. But for them this season, they are now coming into this hoping to end it as world champions. And they need big results, and they need them early, and they need to go to majors. And in order to do that, you have got to beat teams like this right in front of you. Monkeys,
absolutely, yeah.
Expectations are a little bit lower.
Yeah, I mean, Monkeys, they're on a good run today, but Liquid should beat them. You know, I don't want to get it twisted here. Monkeys are a team to be respected. Everyone in this tournament is to be respected, but Liquid have to be beating Monkeys in these kind of situations if they're going to live up to the expectations that they have for themselves. But they're already under a bit of trouble in this matchup here. They look a bit awkward at the near post, all stacked up. Bit of a blockade being put down on any clears as well, but clutch save from Atto, denies Monkeys for just a moment longer. More needed, Oski having a lunge. He's pretty much all his boost to do so. And Monkeys find a way through. The continued pressure is testing Liquid, and Liquid are passing the test.
Monkeys so far have been the stronger of the two teams, but now the breakaway. Chronic puts the ball into the corner. That's pretty well covered there by Aju, who will be very happy to see what a Chronic's touch was. Maybe saw all three members starting to bear down on him and thought, oh, what's this going to be? It ended up being a little simpler than maybe he was anticipating. A Chronic now with a second chance to try and set something up. And dropped down very nicely from Attain, although he was under pressure. Oh, that's a good block. We're still waiting for that first goal in this series. Whilst the other series are hurtling through their second game, we are still searching for our first goal. It's a Chronic. Just back over to Aju, both teams. A Chronic especially, I've been a little bit disappointed with his first touches. They've been very loose, and it feels like it's letting he's allowing a retreating defense off the hook quite often.
That was well played there, though. He's broken his team free of the constricting Monkeys. That really does sound quite terrifying. If anyone needs any Halloween costume plans, then you're welcome to take that one. Liquid are, trying to just stay composed in all this, because it's easy to double commit on nothing in situations like this. Very easy for, just a panic clear to go straight to an opponent and then straight into your net, and they're avoiding those desperately bad situations. At least they're managing their boost as best as they can. And now they've got a chance to put some pressure on their opponents. Chronic shoots to the bar first time, and it's that nightmare bounce to the offense again, where it's just got no follow-up immediately, but they make something of it. Well played, Team Liquid. They didn't get the shot on target. They didn't get the bounce that they wanted, but look at Atto sniping the curve to bring it down for Oski, who finishes it off.
Yeah, look at the boost amounts over on Monkeys. There's nothing left. They tried everything they could. They ended up double committing, and that was the last of the boost reserves gone at that play. Now we go to kickoff. Smokes loses the challenge. That's so much time off the clock. They have to keep the ball up in the air from here on out. Aju sees the ball a little bit too far below him, and Team Liquid had to fight for it. But they have got their first game in this series. Two other series going on as well. Leaf, what's happening over in those?
I should unmute, shouldn't I?
Yeah.
Good idea. That's a very good idea.
Yeah. So right now, we have G1 looking pretty good. They're up 1 on Sonics, and they're up 1 in the next game halfway. So again, we in my opinion, expected G1 to come out as victors on that one, right? So not surprising too much there. And then over on the other one, it's currently 1-0 for, I believe that was who was that? That was Monkeys? It was Quadrant.
Quadrant,
No,
yeah.
Yes.
I think it's 2-0 Quadrant.
Well, 2-0 in games, but 1-0
in the game.
Okay. Sorry.
It's absolutely falling apart for Aogiri today. I mean, they were in that overtime with BDS, or rather with Moist early on. If they just had one more goal against Moist in a really, really long overtime, actually, they would be through almost top seed, in fact, for the playoffs. And instead, they're now being reverse swept out of the entire tournament. They've lost round 3 to Moist. They've lost round 4 in another game 5 to Tundra, and now they're just losing the Quadrant as well. It's completely gone down the drain for Aogiri today. It's a shame. They were so close, and it's slipping away from them.
Well, Leaf, give us a shout if that one ends up getting confirmed.
I will let you know.
As we get ourselves for game number 2 over here. Over to Aquadome. Both of these teams had at least good looks. Despite the fact that Monkeys did not win the last one, they will at least take some comfort in knowing that they look like the stronger of the two teams for that amount of time. Now, the downside to that is that as good as it's going to get? Did you just waste your dominant opportunity in a series?
Yeah, they definitely had Liquid on the ropes, and they just weren't able to apply that finishing touch. They are now have a very uphill battle against them. Liquid, known for their defensive stance, that's something that they've become quite famous for, just continually defending against top-tier talent in the European region for minutes at a time. So if you can't get through them, you start to doubt your offense against them. It's not just like, you can't really just put it down to Liquid peaking. Like, everybody knows that that's just what they do. Monkeys just have to keep on grinding out these positions, and you know, if you're not seeing goals at all, it is time to take just a slightly bigger risk on any given play. You've got to wait for the right moment, of course, but you know, if goals aren't coming, you're probably playing a little bit too safely.
It's just difficult to know when you can go against Liquid. They're a team that are very good at sort of using your own expectations against you. You think you're the faster of the two. You think that they've no longer got control of the ball. As a matter of fact, that they've kind of reeled you into a position that you don't want to be in anymore. Zato is not going to quite find that ball. Matane powers it over the top of Oski. Trading possession back and forward at the moment, trying to find those small little gaps. Get the boost advantage, maybe get a positional advantage, and then launch as soon as you see a slightly bigger advantage open up for you. The backboard, Aju, not the best clear. That's going to continue inviting Liquid back in, but the second touch, so much better and so needed as well, because as we saw in the background, there was a demo hopping on in. And Liquid, if Aju did not get that touch, were probably on their way for their first goal.
Got to give props to how well Monkeys are able to go toe-to-toe with Liquid here, but all it takes is one demo. It's a double demo. Smokes and Oski both removed from the map, but only one of those players needed to be there for his team. And it was Smokes. He wasn't able to get the save, taken away from the play by Oski. Great timing on that one. And you know, this is the danger of trying to just go safely back and forth against Liquid. Eventually, they've got that all-star player in every single position. They've got 3 solo players who can just do anything they want. They've got such speed, and yeah, I think Monkeys have done well for a while here, but are they asking for trouble by trying to play an end-to-end booming game against Liquid, who are just so good at recovering and hitting the ball hard?
Recovering is the big one for me at the moment, because I've been sat on their POVs and I'm just so impressed at how awkward it looks, and they still land in Supersonic and utilize that to go hunting for a demo. It's so impressive, because no matter how bad it looks like it is for them, how late they're going to be on the recovery, it's like, well, we don't need to recover. We don't need to get back into our own sort of field, because I'm just going to go and take out their third player, and we'll stay in control of this rotation.
Yeah, I think Monkeys definitely need some changes of pace here, whether it's just controlling the ball entirely or trying to just get those bursts of pace we saw BDS using earlier. They need a change, because trying to outpace Liquid, trying to even match Liquid in pace, it's just not the way to beat this team. You've got to try and make them awkward on the pitch. You know, teams like Moist have shown us how to do that in the past, but you know, teams like BDS as well. You really don't want to go against this Liquid roster the way that Monkeys, I've got to say, valiantly played the start of this series, just playing like a giant pinball table. Well, you know, they've got one here. And there's still plenty of time left on the clock, but you've got to feel like Liquid are going to be good enough to hold on a 2-goal lead with 1 minute and 44 left.
Yeah, it certainly would go down as a bigger surprise if Liquid were just to let this one slip, and even more of a bigger surprise if they got reverse swept after that. Should they see this one out, the 3-goal lead has been re-established. Chronic getting himself on the board, his first goal of the game. A couple of kickoff goals coming in for either side. But this one looks to me right now as solid as Monkeys have been, and as you mentioned, valiant in the way they played it. The teams that you mentioned there, the moists of this world, it just doesn't seem like this is a matchup. I'm going to continue my sentence. I'm going to commit to this sentence. This doesn't look like sort of the way the teams play, like this matches up well for Monkeys, where they're going to be able to cause that chaos.
Also, what on earth what are these kickoffs? We've just seen 2 kickoff goals from double 50-50s, followed up by a bottom left corner shot. One at one end of the field, one at the other.
We're going to add another one here.
I just don't see, well, first of all, why this is the kickoff strategy that Team Liquid are going for. I mean, why are they playing volatile against... Oh, I don't know why they're playing volatile kickoffs when they got a 2-goal lead, but then again, I don't think a lot of the top teams in the world right now have got a good kickoff to lean on when they've got a 2-goal lead. And, you know, they've let Monkeys back into this. They're playing some very volatile plays right off the bat. Again, you know, we've got a close cheat here. This time it does go in their favor. And it looks like Oski might be able to sneak it in. A Chronic will follow up and put it in, but I mean, this volatility does favor Monkeys, it is worth mentioning. Every single kickoff is going to result in an immediate chance for someone to score. That favors the team who are losing the game, not the team who are winning. The team who are winning just want to get into midfield back and forth and waste some time. So, Liquid, I think I've got a bit to learn here, despite the fact that it's currently working.
And using it yet again. Are we going to get another kickoff goal? Shouldn't do, Arju. Puts himself in a good position from the off. And a little bit of midfield back and forth. Maybe not lasting for long if a toe is going to keep landing it on like that. I was waiting for another goal to go away. I was going to bring Leaf in to ask what's happening elsewhere. But now, given the volatility of this game, I think we'll keep our attention over here. And Matei now off the backboard that was going to maybe drop down for him. I feel like he had the right read. Was taken away nice and early. 45 seconds left.
Well, one thing I can say before we get into the closing seconds here is that G1 are just 1 goal away from advancing. In fact, they might have just scored it, marked by 8, putting G1 up 2-1 in game 3. They're trying to sweep Sonics right now, and that's exactly what Liquid are trying to do on the mainstream. They're about to be 2/3 of the way there.
We're 20 seconds away of a 2-goal lead, and I still don't believe we're not going to game 5. That's how today has been. I'm almost kind of frustrated. We're going to have 23 of the 25 possible games that we could have played on today's mainstream. But Liquid, despite making it a little bit more difficult for themselves, are well on their way towards that sweep. They're 1 more game away, and they have got game number 2. Leaf, what's happening elsewhere, buddy?
Yeah, I was going to say this final round is not, it's not a close one. We're just going to get it over with, but Ilgiri is fighting back. They did grab a dub off of Quadrant, but, you know, they got to do it again and again after that. Quadrant's still at match point, but they got to win. That's a good sign. We just talked about it. Johnny was mentioning it too, that we see this roster like, hey, it looks like they're having a good run. It looks like they might be able to do something here, and then it slowly disintegrates as the day goes on. And it is hard to play this much Rocket League across this many hours, but they're keeping that one close. But as Johnny also mentioned here, the G1 matchup right now is looking very much in favor of G1. It's 4-1, 2 minutes left. Looks like we're going to get a probable sweep there, as potentially here on the mainstream.
I mean, I'm not opposed to that. G1, after what I've seen from them on the mainstream, looks like they very much belong.
I want them in the next
one.
Yes.
Yeah, the professional part of me that wants like the highest quality Rocket League on for our top 8 is pretty happy that G1 are going to make it. The fanboy within me just starts crying for Meta as we have another kickoff goal. Johnny, this is your territory.
Well, you know, Chronix just played a risky 50 is really all there is to this. He's tried to get the ball past his opponent, and instead he's been dunked on. So maybe not enough thought to what, you know, goes wrong if that plan doesn't work out. And it's not a terrible idea to try and chip the ball around the outside of a player immediately after a kickoff. If it goes past him, then you're clean through on goal. But gotta also consider, okay, well, what happens if I do get dunked on? Well, the ball's in your top left corner.
This is the most kickoff goals I have seen in a series in quite some time. And that is, I'm not including the time that we've had off for the off-season. It's been a weird one, it has to be said. And Liquid are actually starting to put the style on at the moment. Here comes Oski's shot, and Smokes, he knows his only option is to dive at it. It's contact on the ball, it stays at 1-0.
Well, you know, I've got to shout out, you know, Rocket League globally here, because while North America and Europe are the oldest and the longest standing regions and the largest regions for competitive Rocket League, they're not the regions that are really pioneering and you know, pushing the kickoff game forward. It's the only set piece in the game, and you know, I had a chance to tune into the Middle East North Africa regional the other just last weekend, and I'm so impressed by eventual winners KRN, because not only are they mechanically brilliant, but they're also, you know, putting together the strats that we're not really seeing from the top EU and NA teams. So, you know, EU and NA's got to be taking notes. I know a lot of these guys don't really want to be paying attention to what teams from around the world are doing, but I think they should be. Oh, they've also not paid attention to their goal here. That's well saved by Liquid. They've cleared their lines as well. Monkeys coming to life in game 3, and now they're up by 2.
Oh, dude, Champions Field is guaranteed. It was known. As Arju, what a play that is. Just kept full control. Even flinch at the oncoming challenges towards him. And that is now 2-0 up for Team Liquid to try and find the plays. And maybe now those more chaotic kickoffs are a little bit more advisable.
Yeah,
they need to get those 2 goals back.
Exactly. I mean, when you're losing, it's a great idea. It's something that I think Monkeys were smart to do in the last game. It didn't work out every time in their favor, but when you're losing, you just want the game to be as volatile as possible. You want everybody to be on the opposing team to have as little boost as possible, and a good time to do that is right after a kickoff. If you can just quickly get a shot on net, then very high likelihood that 1 or 2 of the, maybe even all 3 of the opponents won't have boost to defend that. So this is where Liquid should be bringing back the strats they were using in the last game. It's when they've got a lead like they did in the last game that it doesn't really make much sense, and that actually gave a chance for Monkeys to come back at them. They were able to close out the game nonetheless, but let's see if they can now be the team making those strides towards a comeback in game 3.
Oh, bit of a missed call there from Team Liquid. Is this going to be the 3rd? Yes, it is. And Team Liquid well up against us here. Oski up, a toe up. Neither of them get the ball. And the legendary words of Greasy Meister, double the commitment, double the chance. Unfortunately, it was double the chance of going in your net.
Yeah, double commit, double the chance of success is sometimes true, but not in those kind of positions. I think, you know, funnily enough, I really don't think Greasy, we know he was joking when he said that, but there is some truth to it. You know, double
I think
commit.
everyone heard that and just went, that's really dumb, but yeah,
no,
actually,
there's some truth to it, you know? There's some positions, you know, if there's a point-blank range shot and one player can pre-jump top left, another player can pre-jump middle of the net, then that sounds like a good double commit to me.
I mean, the other one
to a point-blank range shot.
When people say faking when they miss the ball, when, yeah, actually, they kind of did. Like, you missed the ball, but your opponent now has had to react in a weird way.
Yeah, it's all about position, but, you know, there's no chance that double committing.
What we're saying is don't play good Rocket League.
Yeah, if you're double committing on a, you know, uncontested ball near ceiling height, then that doesn't make any sense at all. So I don't think we can really give Liquid any copium on that one. They're really struggling in this 3rd game. Like, full credit to Monkeys, who are actually winning out the mechanical war, and they make it 4. And the disgusting assist from Matane. Smokes is there to finish it off.
All right. Well, since Champions Field is pretty much guaranteed, I'm gonna call Leaf in over here.
I was about to jump in and double commit.
Yeah, because Sonic, I haven't seen gameplay over on the Sonic stream for a while, and I'm not seeing very many happy faces.
Yeah, no, that would be because they don't have any faces anymore because they're not in the tournament. That didn't work out. They're done. They're done. G1 3-0 for G1. So we got what we wanted. Sonics did not. And we got G1 into the next day. And
wait, that's such a negative outlook on it. I didn't want Sonics to be eliminated specifically. I just
no. We got what we wanted. G1 winning.
I think that's not what I heard, Leaf, is all I'm saying. I heard you say that we got what we wanted, Sonics are out. Like, I just don't want it to be a part of that, line of thinking.
No, I didn't want Sonics to lose either. I like Metzenaris.
Yeah, unfortunately somebody's going to lose, but they've done well to get into the second or third round, actually, because that could be relevant later on in this split.
And the other update I do have for you right now is Agiri. Game 5, Champions Field for that matchup. They're looking at
we're going to be in 10 minutes.
Yeah, potential reverse sweep situation there. So maybe they're down a goal, but maybe they get another goal and hold off for us. And try to make it as long as possible.
They need the longest overtime for us to make it over to them. Either a long overtime or we just start seeing kickoff goals. Okay, actually. Yeah, there's a good chance Team Liquid can give up, 20 kickoff goals I think we would need. Actually, no, we need them to speed up, don't we? Not slow down. But either way, this one is very done indeed. Monkeys have put themselves on the board. 2-1 still for Team Liquid. Johnny, you said before we got into this that if Team Liquid are going to bottle anything, it was going to be the previous round. Yep. Team Liquid fans out there, Colin Stumpy especially, are hoping that you are right.
Yeah, I still think they've got what it takes to win this one. I think maybe they got a bit too loose in that game, and when they did end up trailing by a goal or two, they didn't put the plays together. They double committed on an uncontested ball at ceiling height, like they conceded again. They made some big mistakes while already losing the game. So yeah, not the consistent game like we were looking for, but I think they can put it together in game 4, if not game 4, surely game 5. You've got to think that this team, this talent on this roster will get the job done.
I couldn't see Team Liquid not getting the job done here. I think it's very possible it's hard to get 3 Ls, right? Your opponent's likely going to get 1, especially at this round of matches. So they get that one and then onwards. But for Auguri Quadrant, quick tell me, who's going to win it?
I was going to be really obvious with that one because Quadrant almost put their second one in. As you were saying that, but I think Quadrant, hold on.
Yeah, surely Quadrant. They're winning 1-0 with a minute left. I'm not going to go against them on that one, but Gary have won the last 2 games, so very impressive stuff by them.
Imagine reverse sweeping to escape being reverse swept in the Swiss. What redemption that would. Oh, okay, maybe not happening. Quadrant 2-0 against Giri.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. Just when it was all looking like it might change the tune for them, it might all be over for Giri. Reverse swept out of the bracket. 3 straight losses. The worst possible way to go. No, that's not the first time we've seen Team Liquid double committing there. Just another one. That one not quite so devastating. They've got to get the comms in place here. They've got to spread out a little bit more in offense. It's becoming a pretty consistent problem game to game.
Yeah, I mean, you said at the end of the last one how it just seemed like Team Liquid kind of pulled the foot off the gas a little bit. It got a little bit too loose. And that's all good if you think, okay, this game's done. Okay. What is that? I think... Okay, I'm hoping there's a challenge on this. My view said that this was an incredible own goal redirect, and I might be right.
You are. It's a great job by Oski to get that last touch on the ball and lift it over the top of Smoke so that his touch is not the touch that he wants. But yeah, what a screamer own goal redirect that was.
You couldn't hit it better, unfortunately for you. As Team Liquid have got that first goal. Do not want to see any more Champions Field. We are at 24 of possible 25 games played on the mainstream today. I'm kind of up for rounding it out. But Team Liquid do not seem to be in that sort of charitable mood. Off the backboard yet again. What are the boost amounts that are even left here? For Monkeys, well, good enough to at least escape into the midfield. We need some follow-up here. There's another double commit. And I giggle at that one, but at the same time, if that's a good challenge and they lose it, that double commit leaves nobody back.
Yeah, it's just not necessary at all. The risk being taken here in positions where the threat is not, I think, big enough for it to be worth committing so much to these plays. But like I said, Liquid are still leading by 1. And Monkeys I've only got 1 really good game. I think maybe a shaky start for Liquid in game 1 gave Monkeys good chances, but outside of that, it was just that 3rd game, and that's not the best clear, but nice recovery by Liquid to get back to the ball and clear. Less than half the game to go. Liquid are currently on track to securing their top 8 spot.
Oh, what a pre-jump.
It's a great read, and looks like for now they have at least spread out a little bit more, so comms are going to be easy for Liquid in these positions. Oh, what a shot that is! Goal line save for Atto, denies smokes from very impressive angle.
Monkeys are at least giving a good showing of it. They have not been the team that have been up against the pressure for the most part since that goal has been in. And they're putting themselves in dangerous spots as well, coming in from the blind spots. Happy just to loiter in the opposing side of the field, but this is the dangerous part now. You've got Team Liquid starting to run at you off the backboard. First one to it was Smokes. Another good challenge. Arju with a chronic. He's just respawned, and he doesn't get there in time. 1-1.
Well, out of nowhere, a massive dunk comes out of Smokes. It looks like Liquid are trying to set up an attack there, but just not paying attention to the big dunk coming towards him. Smokes slams it over the top of one. And it comes down into the middle for Arju to score.
Oh my goodness. Is it going to happen like that? No, not quite. Not for now. But it's that kickoff again. They put themselves in a position where they could have been caught.
It's a dead ball. Every time they're just going for that dead ball kickoff. And I really don't like it from Team Liquid. I mean, it just looks risky to me. I don't think it's necessary for them to be making that risk. No disrespect to them, against Monkeys, who, you know, Liquid should, I think, be able to control the midfield against. You know, why are they taking risks against the team adult?
You put these two teams against each other and said, all right, neutral gameplay, the ball is already in motion as the game gets started. You would expect the majority of goals to go Team Liquid's way.
Exactly, yeah.
You're adding something there for Monkeys where they might be able to gain an advantage. And with 1 minute left, any advantage will do. Trying to get themselves over to Champions Field. Team Liquid trying to finish today's broadcast off. They are the final series going on. Everybody else, their day is done. They're waiting either to play in 2 weeks' time, play next week if you're in the close qualifiers, or maybe even just play tomorrow if you've made it into that top 8. It's a chronic off the ceiling. Good challenge. Good block yet again. Monkeys are going to have to keep an eye once again on those boost totals, but it's just not able to keep going consistently for Team Liquid as the booming ball comes in and a toe clears to his own teammate.
It's, again, just consistent risk from Liquid, but they're through. Oski spots the gap in the defense, and with 10 seconds to go, he puts Liquid ahead. Now, we're going to need to see that one again. Arju is motionless, and we do have a pause.
Okay.
So no doubt that one is going to
be
be taken. We're going to get a look